What is your understanding of a week, right? Now let's talk about your actual experience. How do you experience what you call a week? What is the tangibility of a week, right? Now, I'm going to speak about the Gregorian calendar first because most people can perceive that, right? Then we talk about from the standpoint of the Most High. The Gregorian calendar, the week is Sunday being the first day, then you have Monday, Tuesday, all the way up until Saturday. No matter what, that is fixed. You cannot change that. So a week on a Gregorian calendar will always be from Sunday to Saturday. So for example, a person who has a day off on Wednesday, right? So Wednesday is the day off. You go to work on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Then you're off again on Wednesday. You cannot refer to Wednesday as the seventh day because you start working from Thursday, right? The Gregorian calendar is fixed. So now we get that concept. So when it comes down to the standpoint of the Most High, remember, the 7 days are fixed, right? It cannot change, it cannot be altered. It is fixed based on the standard of the Most High, based on the elements in the heavens, right? So yesterday was new moon day, as we know, right? So whatever phase of the moon you use, we're not dealing with the phase of the moon. So if you use a crescent moon as your new moon, that crescent moon should be the 7th day, right? Wherever, regardless of wherever it falls on a Gregorian calendar. If you use a black moon, that black moon should be the 7th day, right? I use a full moon, so we're not talking about the phase, right? So the day after the new moon, that would be the first work day. So yesterday was our new moon. Today would be the first day you go to work, where you can work for salary, right? So today, Monday, being the first work day, Tuesday the 2nd, Wednesday the 3rd, Thursday the 4th, Friday the 5th, Saturday the 6th, and then Sunday again will be the 7th day. And you're gonna see something tangible. There's gonna be a landmark, like I said. The moon on Sunday will be, it will not be half exactly because it's 30 days, but the light part of the moon will be greater than the dark part, and that is what you can use to say it is the 7th day. That's the only thing you can use to tell the days apart. All these 6 days from today until Saturday physically will be the same. Sunday will be different, or it will be a day that you can identify because the Most High sanctified it according to the moon. So every time we look upon the moon, we can tell when to rest our animals, when not to plant, when to to do agricultural stuff and all of that, right? Now most people have been accustomed to the Gregorian calendar for so long, and when they hear about the term lunar Sabbath, their first thought is that the lunar Sabbath is not real because it changes every week. So what they're doing is they think the Gregorian calendar is fixed and it's not moving, and they think the sun and the moon and the constellations are out of order. They are the ones changing. You see, what happens is when you trust in the ignorance of the mind, right? You know what happened? It becomes your truth. Therefore, illusions become your reality. So what happens is you're seeing the world through an inverted lens. Like when you're using the front camera, it shows your right hand as the left. And if you believe in that, you will fall for it, right? So what happens is the Gregorian calendar is the one that changes every week. Every time it changes, and they think it's the moon that is changing. For example, if the Gregorian calendar is fixed Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, why do you have the same date as your birthday every year, but every year it falls on a different day? That is telling you that the Gregorian calendar is constantly changing. It's not fixed as you think in your imaginations. It is fixed, but it's constantly changing. So if your birthday changes every year, what do you think happens to your Sabbath? So what you've been doing wrong is you're trying to see the knowledge of the sun, the moon, and the constellations through your ignorance of the Gregorian calendar. You're trying to filter the sun, moon, and constellations through what the mind think it knows. about the Gregorian calendar. No, you have to use the higher standard. You have to use the sun, the moon, and the constellations to see through the flaws of the Gregorian calendar. So I hope this gives an understanding of what Shabayay is. A week, seventh, it's seventh. One starting at a fixed point, ending at a fixed point. That's what it is. A week for the Most High.